Is nearly over, but there's still plenty of important races around. For his preview of the Champagne Stakes and today's other big events is Kenny Callender.
Thanks very much, Bear. Well, the last day of the Sydney Autumn Carnival today, and surprise, surprise, despite all the rain during the week, it's a beaut day today and the track is only dead. We're going to show you the Champagne Stakes, the last of the Sydney Group races, or Group 1 races, and I'm tipping a Melbourne youngster, number 2, Mr. Vitality. As a matter of fact, I think he's a special. I think you all should back him. The other 2 races from Sydney, the Daly Double races, races 6 and 7, are like 11 snippets in race 6 and number 2 upwards in race 7. In the Daly Double from Moonee Valley in Melbourne, where the track's a little affected there by some rain during the week, I like number 2 Snippets Girl in the first leg and number 3 Arbonne Rouge in the second leg. Good luck and good punting. Here's the Bear.
Good luck, Ken. Thank you very much. I'll be back with full highlights from the Rugby League and the AFL later in the afternoon. Ken, and I'm sorry.
And I've tipped Snippets Girl here, trained by Lee Friedman, and they tell me that there's wads of money for her new stablemate, Kiwi Golfer, formerly trained by Charlie Faulkner, a Kiwi, now with Lee Friedman. We had him at 13-2 earlier, and Kiwi Golfer is now into 5-1 into 9-2 as I speak. Snippets Girl still at 4-1, Verdetto at 3-1, Devon Gold is a scratching, Vertigo at 5-1, St Rory is scratching, Merlot 9s into 8s, he'll get back but rattle home, Peg's Gift at 12-1, Superior Sam at 20, Cam's Rogue at 14-1, Rich and Running is a scratching, Our Communications 20 last time I spoke into 16-1, 25 Bongisto and 66-1 Cool Rika. So we pick them up there at the Valley. They're going into line. Looks like they're just about all set. You'll see the red light or the flashing light come on in a moment, and then they'll be off. Time for us to go to our caller, John Russell. Here he is.
Kiwi Golfer now trained by Lee Friedman. Lights go on. They're off to a good start. 2 Snippets Girl on the outside. One of the first to jump out with Cam's Rogue and Cool Rika. Began well with Vertigo. Over on the inside, beginning quickly there is Verdetto, and they were followed by Bongisto and Our Communications. Behind them, Superior Sam. Kiwi Golfer further back, followed by King's Gift, and last of all is Merlot. Down the side they race now. Snippets Girl joined by Cam's Rogue. They're out 2 lengths to Cool Rika on the inside of Vertigo, Our Communications and Bongisto. A length and a half further back being ridden along is Verdetto, followed by Kiwi Golfer, who's making ground. Superior Sam and Peg's Gift, and last of all Merlot. 650 metres left to go, and Cam's Rogue takes the lead by a half length to Snippets Girl, Our Communications. Close up behind them over on the inside, Vertigo, followed by Bongisto, and then to the others came Cool Rika. Kiwi Golfer, Verdetto being very hard ridden, followed next over on the outside by Superior Sam, Peg's Gift, and Merlot as they come around the home turn. Our Communications takes the lead here from Cam's Rogue. They're followed by Bongisto, Vertigo, Snippets Girl, and further back Kiwi Golfer as they straighten up, and Verdetto will run nearly last at the top of the straight now. Anybody's race. Bongisto on the outside has taken a slight lead from Our Communications, and Merlot coming from last with a flashing run, and Kiwi Golfer in the centre, and Pig's Gift is flying home. Merlot just in front. They hit the line. Merlot from Pig's Gift and Kiwi Golfer close up third. Then Bongisto, Cam's Rogue, Our Communications, Vertigo, Superior Sam, Verdetto. Second last home is Cool Rika, and the last to finish is Snippets Girl.
Well, that was one for Sydney, and as we pick them up, watch the horse widest out. He'd come from absolute last in the cerise colours, about 2 lengths off the lead still Merlot, but Werner gets to work with the whip, and Merlot responds, swamps the leaders. Now just inside of him there is Peg's Gift, ridden by young John Patton. It actually runs second, and Kiwi Golfer in the mahogany colours of blue with the white armbands and the white cap gets up for third. But the winner, one for Sydney there, Merlot first, Peg's Gift second, Kiwi Golfer third. A break and then more on the wide world of sports.
Firstly, let's check the dividends on the previous at Moonee Valley. The numbers were 7, 8 and 1, Merlot 9.40 and 2.80, Peg's Gift 3.90 and Kiwi Golfer paid $2.10. Now in AFL there are 3 matches in play.
No, we don't, Ian. I'll tell you what though, the Fluffy Ducks might go all right at Randwick at the moment because light rain is falling, a very light drizzle as they arrive at the starting gates for the big one, the Moe and Shandon Champagne Stakes, inaugurated in 1864. You know, in the very early days, it was customary for the owner of the winner to donate 24 bottles of champagne to the AJC committee. Kenny Callender, there's a very strong rumour that particular process has now changed. They're going to donate the 24 to members of the electronic media. Have you heard that rumour?
John, I know that if I had the winner, I'd at least buy as many people as I could a beer, but well, I haven't got a runner, unfortunately, and I reckon my cash is going to go on Mr. Vitality. I don't reckon, I know it has. Here we go. Blevik is at 4-1. Mr. Vitality showing 270, just under 7-4, 13 to 8 to 7-4. Twos has been given. Number 3, Dane Win, just getting out a fraction to 13 to 4. Code TAB number 4 at 15 to 1. 12 to 1 Chanted. Allegro is at 16 to 1, the Kiwi. A little bit of money for him. Larry Cassidy, the rider, finished second in the New Zealand size produce stakes, I think it was. Deja Slew at 40 to 1. Warning Siren at 25 to 1. Alouette at 25 to 1. Euphoria, both Alouette and Euphoria are trained by Clary Connors. Euphoria at 60 to 1. Talaga at 15 to 1. And beside these two, Clary's also got Deja Slew a 40 to 1 chance and Code a 15 to 1 chance. So he mightn't have the quality, Clary Connors, but he's got quantity with 4 runners. I hope he doesn't knock out Mr. Vitality. Here's Johnny.
Good on you, Kenny. And one of Clary's 4 runners, Euphoria, is the first one to move up into the gates. Clary won the Champagne Stakes in consecutive years recently with Terse and Burst. Now, Euphoria and Alouette amongst the first to go up into line ahead of Chanted, and his Blevik moving forward now. Warning Siren getting a lead up with Mr. Vitality. Down the track a bit is Dane Win, and we wait for Allegro, Talagar, Deja Slew some distance back with Code. And the drizzle continues as they move in for the Champagne Stakes. Allegro goes up into line. Talagar, an impressive winner last week in easier grade, is about to be led forward. Dane Win, a big colt. Is he a colt? He certainly is. He certainly looks like one. He's gross, robust, and I would say, beyond any doubt, the biggest runner in the field, although Code's a tall, gangly gelding. Now, the rider of Talaga has dismounted, Daryl McClellan, and they're going to... or rather Matthew Carl, the rider of Talaga. I think Daryl McClellan, I'm sure Daryl won on this filly last Saturday. He might be under suspension. And Matthew Carl is the replacement rider. Now, Code, Deja Slew to move up with Dane Win and the riderless Talaga. 2 or 3 of the gatemen are linking hands now behind this filly to bundle her forward, and they've succeeded in doing that. And here's Matthew Carl walking over to remount. Dane Win goes up. He's lost a lot of weight, Dane Win. When he made his debut 4 or 5 weeks ago, he carried an excess in condition. And when he won the Fernhill Handicap recently, he still looked as though he was subject to improvement. And that run must have tightened him right up. He's lost a heck of a lot of weight and will be all the better for it. Now, Deja Slew to move in and complete the line, and they look to be just about set and ready for dispatch in the Moe and Shandon Champagne Stakes for 94. Starter ready for them. Euphoria drawn close to the inside, stands in nicely. Starter onto his stand now. Bill Cooper about to release the field. They look good and they're off. And a beautiful start. They came out almost as one, with Alouette first to break that line of horses, beginning smartly. Here's Mr. Vitality, and Code is well away, followed by Allegro going quickly on the outside. Getting along the fence, Euphoria into a good spot, followed by Chanted, Deja Slew, and then Blevik, and getting well back early, Dane Win, followed by Talaga, and Warning Siren dropped out to be last of all. Alouette's in front under a strong hold in the run to the first turn. Now, getting to second is Mr. Vitality with Code trapped 3 deep on that first corner. Euphoria settles down 4th on the fence, followed by Allegro 3 deep on the outside of Chanted and Blevik. A length and a half to Talaga, followed by Dane Win and Deja Slew, and Warning Siren last in a packing field. Alouette speeding up, puts on a bit of pace going over the crossing, led by 2 lengths to Euphoria. with Mr. Vitality on the outside, a bit more than a length to Code, followed by Blevick in a good spot, and then Allegro, and further back Chanted, followed by Talaga. Dane Win well back and hard ridden, followed by Warning Siren and Deja Slew. Onto the turn, 500 out. Alouette as the leader is clear of Euphoria. Mr. Vitality under pressure, getting into second place, followed by Code, and then Talaga with Blevick taken to the extreme outside as they turn for home. Straightening up, and Alouette about 4 off the fence is just the leader over Euphoria. Mr. Vitality putting in his run, and Blevick is coming right down the middle of the track. He looks the big danger. Mr. Vitality's gone, I think, at the 200. Euphoria grabbed the lead, but Blevick on the outside. Mr. Vitality still there, fighting on. Euphoria just the leader. Blevick on the outside. Mr. Vitality in the centre. Euphoria holding on. She's going too well, and Clary Connors does it again. Euphoria fell in to win. Talaga on the inside got up for second. Blevick third, just in front of Mr. Vitality, followed by Warning Siren. And then Dane Win at the head of the others. Deja Slew, followed by Chanted. Alouette weakened in the straight, and the last couple were Allegro and Code.
Yeah, now let's pick up this replay and we'll see just how the roughie Euphoria, trained by Clary Connors, won the Champagne Stakes. That's her in the centre in the white cap. Desperately ridden by Gavin Duffy. Now inside her in the yellow cap is Talaga, Matthew Carl. They're the two that fight it out. The two David Hayes horses out of camera range now. Couldn't do any better, Blevick and Mr. Vitality. And Gavin Duffy giving Euphoria a fair bit for a corner there. Won the Champagne Stakes. Let's go again. There's Euphoria in the white cap. Inside of her is Talaga. Now out deep is the favourite Mr. Vitality in purple with white and red colours. And wider again, the Robert Sangster horse, Blevick, who looked as though he was going to swamp everything, ridden by Gavin Eads, but he didn't quite sustain that run. Euphoria fought on too well, and it was left to another filly, Talaga, to fight back and nearly snare the first prize, but she didn't quite get there. And number 10, Euphoria, who'll pay over $75 for the win and $13 for the place, has beaten 11 Talago, who'll pay $3.80 for the place, and number 1 Blevick was third, will pay a tote dividend of $1.70. That was the Champagne Stakes of 1994, and as Gavin Duffy returns to scale on this roughie, who will now shout her owners some champagne, we'll take a break and then come back with more on the wide world of sports.
In just a moment, but let's check the dividends firstly on the Champagne Stakes. 10, 11 and 1, those numbers. Euphoria, $75.80 and $13.30. Talaga, $3.80 and Blevick, $1.70. In AFL, those 3 matches in progress. Update scores for you.
The track just about raring to go in race 6 at Randwick. Here's Johnny Tapp. You don't miss us this weekend, do you, Tappy?
Matter of fact, Ken, I was only asking somebody a short time ago, where are Ken and Max? It just doesn't seem the same without you. As a matter of fact, the flags are flying at half-mast. We come to the Valentine Scotch Handicap, a 3-year-old race over 1,600 metres, a big field. And for those that missed the Champagne Stakes, bookies got the lot. The winner was Euphoria, $75.80 and $13.30. Who said they don't have a guardian angel, Ken?
Yeah, they got every caser, John. They cleaned up, and us poor punters, well, I just hope we live to fight again. We might run out of cash. In this race, number 1 Various at 9 to 1. Nice as a scratching. Bordeaux, been well backed in the ring, is now into 8 to 1. K Kane at 16, Ruby War at 40, Golden Cocktail is out. Over the top, unbeaten in 3 runs. This is his 4th, his toughest test. He's got a great chance. He's only 7 to 4. Mansell Bay at 9 to 1. Lady in Need at 40, Magic Road at 30. I've had a few bucks on snatches. He's at 9 to 2, paying $5.50, $5.40. Kevin Moses, a jockey, races in the famous colours of Baguette, Cabochon, Heirloom. All those great horses of red with a white cap. Donette at 25 to 1. 4 Chase at 20. Val Dupree at 20. Village Prospector at 40. Plan Not at 33. Take Issue at 60. Serenely as a scratching. And Mr. Prego, the roughie of the field, at 100 to 1. Don't dare call him home first, John.
All right, Ken, well, if he happens to stick his big noggin in front, I might have to. But it's highly unlikely that he will. As you said, $100 for the win. Mr. Prego, he pulled very hard doing his preliminary. Now over the top goes up with Mr. Prego and Take Issue and Paul Falvey, the last one to move in, and they'll be set. Yes, the Tommy Smith trained over the top is the cynosure of all eyes here. Unbeaten in 3 starts so far. Actually, Gay Waterhouse has recently taken over the training of Over the Top. part owned by our good mate George Cronitis, and he's certainly... Oh, what's this up in the air? One of them's red, wide outs. Mr. Prego it was, right up in the air. In fact, one of his 4 feet actually got over the top of the front gate fleetingly. Now, the rider has clambered to safety, namely Adrian Robinson, but Adrian is out behind the gates and looks to be slightly... I thought he may have been limping, but I don't think he is. But Mr. Prego went right up in the air, and one of his 4 feet actually got over the top of the front gate. Now, I think one of the barrier attendants has been slightly injured here too. I think one of the barrier attendants has also been involved here. One of the gatemen has come back behind the stalls and has had to sit down on the turf behind the stalls, so he too may have been pushed against the side of the upright here by Mr. Prego when the horse reared up. By gee, it's not as serious as the case we had in Adelaide recently when one of the gatemen was rather seriously injured. This particular barrier attendant has injured his right leg, as you can see there, and certainly not too seriously, but then again it's easy for me to stand up here and say it's not serious. Stand by. They'll probably take this out, I feel. Almost certain to come out.
Scratched at 342 on red advice.
Scratched at 342 and he'll be sadly missed. Now, a late scratching, Mr. Prego at 342 on veterinary advice. A late scratching, Mr. Prego, number 19 at 342 on veterinary advice. And there'll be an odd punter who can go and get their money back, and I think most of the others will be saying good riddance. You don't like to see horses that hurt people. Adrian Robinson's okay, but he has left the trail of devastation. Off and running now. And a pretty good start. One of the first out, Val Dupree. Magic Road jumped quickly. Over the top is Away Fast, followed by Mansell Bay. Snatches prominent when they settle down, and then Kay Cornet. Various got a check there. Going around the outside, Ruby War, followed by Donette. Getting well back, Lady in Need, Village Prospector, followed by Plan Not, Fort Chase, Bordeaux, and dropping out last Take Issue. By gee, he's got to learn to settle a bit, this bloke over the top. He wants to bolt in front, and Larry's having a job holding him. He led by a bit more than a length now to Val Dupree on the inside of Ruby War. 2.5 to Mansell Bay on the inside of Snatches, followed by Magic Road. 3 deep on the outside of Kay Cornet. Then Donette, Various after an early check as well back, followed by Plan Not, Village Prospector. Then Lady in Need, Take Issue, and Fort Chase, and Bordeaux last. Past the 800 over the top. Racing Hard is the leader by 3/4 to Val Dupree. Ruby War makes a line of 3. 2.5 Mansell Bay, followed by Snatches, who gets his chance from there. And then Donette, Magic Road, Kay Cornet, Village Prospector. Various around the outside, further back as they come to the turn, Lady in Need, and then Plan Not, Take Issue, Bordeaux right off the track, and Fort Chase last of all, straightening up over the top in front of Val Dupree. Mansell Bay on the fence waiting for a run, followed by Snatches. Now Pop the Question, and then Donette, and Various wide out is still coming on well at the 200 though. Over the top has kicked. He again got away from Mansell Bay, followed by Val Dupree, Donette, Snatches, and Various dying on his run, but over the top is well clear. I'll tell you what, he's way above average, this bloke. Over the top, he's still doing plenty wrong, but he just annihilates them. Over the top, beat Snatches, Donette third, fourth Mansell Bay, and then Various followed by Fort Chase, Kay Cornet, Take Issue, Val Dupree, Magic Road, followed by Plan Not and Village Prospector. Well back Bordeaux and Ruby War, and Lady in Need is absolute last to finish.
Okay, no doubt about the winner. Led all the way over the top. Will pay $2.70 and $1.50. Number 11, Snatches, out wide, red with the white cap. You'll find gets home to run second. Will pay $1.90 for second. And inside him, in the blinkers and in the orange colours with the black sleeves, that's Donette. She'll run third and pays $6.90 for a place. Mansell Bay over on the rails runs fourth. That's him in the black cap, being ridden hard by Mark de Montfort. And Various in the white colours, Gavin Eads, will run fifth. But over the top first, Snatches second, Donette third in race 6 from Randwick. Now a break, and then more on the wide world of sports.
Man, shortly, but firstly, the dividends on the previous ad, Randwick, race 6, numbers 7, 11, 12. Over the top, $2.70 and $1.50. Snatches, $1.90 and Donette $6.90. Now for the latest on Moonee Valley, race 7, here's Kenny Callender. Ken.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Bear. Here are the early prices. Number 1, Sure Cut at 12 to 1. True Honour at 20 to 1. I think Arbonne Rouge will be hard to beat. He's at 7 to 2. Stephen King, the jockey. Centreway at 9 to 1. Swift Talent 25. Brosberger's out. Ladies Way 4. Palace Symphony 6 at the bar. I should be there, I think, 10 to 1. Yucatan at 11 to 1. He's down there from Sydney. 16, both Double Dark and Moon Boots. 80 to 1, Seraphic Sound. 25, Our Bandolero. 60 to 1, The Abbot. And 33 to 1, Dowling Grey. Back to you, Ian.
Good on you, Ken. Thank you. 3 matches in the AFL underway this afternoon. It's Hawthorn and Carlton doing battle. The Blues well.
Match Kenny, the second leg coming up at the Valley. They're milling behind the barrier now, so just time for me to go through the field. Number 1, Sure Cut at 12 to 1. True Honour at 20 to 1. Arbonne Rouge, very solid. I think he'll be hard to beat. Stephen King, the rider, he's still at 7 to 2 as he has been. Sent away, just firmed a touch into 8 to 1. Mark Flaherty is the jockey. 25 to 1, Swift Talent. Brosberger's a scratching. Ladies Way, who was up in Sydney, back down in Melbourne, a 9 to 2 chance. Little easy in the market, getting out in the market on course. Palace Symphony, Rodney Griffiths at 6.5 to 1 or 13 to 2. A little bit of money for the topical tip. I think he's topical anyway. At the bar, well named, 9 to 1. Yucatan, stablemate of the first leg winner, Merlot. Yucatan, owned by the Woodland Stud, is at 11 to 1. Patrick Payne is the jockey. Double Dark at 16 to 1. Moon Boots is the same price. Seraphic Sound, bit hard for me to pronounce that with the S's. It's at 65th to 1. Hard all around. Our Bandolero at 25 to 1. The Abbot at 50 to 1. Looks a bit short for him. And Dowling Grey at 33 to 1. It's a 1600 metre race. As we can see there as we pick them up on screen, a few of them are in. Just waiting. Tricky start here at the 1600 at the Valley, I should tell you. And if you're trapped wide, well, brother, you're usually forced to cover plenty of extra ground. If you're looking for Arbonne Rouge, he races in navy with red and yellow hoop sleeves and a yellow cap. He's trained by John Marr. That's actually the Abbot going into line there, the Sydney Cider, TOB number 15. But as I said, the favourite, Arbonne Rouge, navy, red and yellow hoops and a yellow cap as we go down to the Valley to the top caller in the business down south, John Russell.
And away comes in. Our Bandolero, Moon Boots to complete the line. At the bar, and the all-white stands up well and one alongside the stablemate Swift Talent. And Moon Boots coming up. Sure Cut stands in well. True Honour in 4, Dowling Grey. Scored a strong win at Bendigo last time out, Dowling Grey. In a Class 6 race, beating Port Amber, a pretty smart galloper. Now our Bandolero obviously in the wrong stall. So he'll go to the extreme outside, and coming in next to him will be Moon Boots. And the line is complete for the Home Hardware handicap. They're all set. Wait for the lights to go on. They're ready. Set, and off they go. At the bar, jumped nicely with Swift Talent. True Honour began quickly, and out fast as Ladies Way, being followed by Double Dark, who commenced well with Seraphic Sound, and on the outside going forward is Sure Cutter. And very deep on the track there is Moon Boots going up towards the lead with Our Bandolero. Arbonne Rouge just been behind, but racing a bit deep, followed by Palace Symphony and sent away. Dowling Grey a second last, and Yucatan bringing up the rear. Around the first turn at the 1200. Double Dark takes the lead by a half length to Our Bandolero. Ladies Way third in the box seat, followed closely by Moon Boots and True Honour. And back behind them a length and a half further back in the field, Seraphic Sound, followed by At the Bar moving forward. They're closely attended by Sure Cut, who's over on the inside of Arbonne Rouge. A length away is the Abbot, Palace Symphony and sent away. And back behind them, Dowling Grey, followed by Swift Talent, who got back to second last, and Yucatan last of all. 850 outer. Double Dark is the leader, a half length in advance of Our Bandolero, and coming up quickly on the outside now. Towards the outside, Seraphic Sound has gone up very fast to take over down the side, and Seraphic Sound just in advance here of Double Dark, who's getting a nice run. At the bar is third up on the outside. Our Bandolero and Ladies Way still there on the rails looking for a way outer. Arbonne Rouge just in behind them. Moon Boots there, followed by True Honour getting a rails runner. Sure Cut next is being hard ridden there, followed by Dowling Grey and Palace Symphony. Up towards the home turn past the 400. Seraphic Sound about to be tackled again by over on the inside Double Dark, and Ladies Way is joining in with a strong run. Our Bandolero, Arbonne Rouge Rouge very wide as they straighten over. Ladies Way on the outside has hit the front with 200 metres left to go from Our Bandolero. Arbon Rouge down the outside. Double Dark on the rails. True Honor nowhere to go. Ladies Way just in advance of Arbon Rouge and Our Bandolero. Arbon Rouge on the outside and Ladies Way. Ladies Way, Arbon Rouge. Ladies Way may have just won from Arbon Rouge in a tight one. Tight for third also Our Bandolero and True Honor just in behind them, centre way. And they were followed by Double Dark and Yucatan made up ground. Swift Talent behind them, Seraphic Sound, Pella Symphony. Next Swift Talent followed by Dowling Grey, Shortcut from Moon Boots and the Abbot. And last to finish is At the Bar.
Wowee, now let's try and line these up when we see this replay. Ladies Way, which is over there in the black and white stripes with the red cap. Now, that's Our Bandolero in the middle. We're not interested in him. And out deep in the yellow cap is Arbon Rouge. I hope he's got there, but oh, gee, Ladies Way kick back. Oh, I don't know. Well, the Ladies Way might have got a head down, but Arbon Rouge out deep is certainly right in this up to his ears. Ladies Way or Arbon Rouge. Possibly Ladies Way, thinks John Russell. We'll have the results shortly. That was the second leg of the Darley Double from Moonee Valley. Coming up next, the second leg of the Darley Double from Royal Randwick.